The first contact, the vast expanse of space stretched out before Captain Sarah Chen as she stood on the bridge of the HS Horizon, Earth's most advanced exploration vessel. The ship's sleek, obsidian hull glided silently through the cosmic void, its state-of-the-art engines propelling it faster than any human-made object had ever traveled before. "Captain, we're picking up an anomaly on long-range sensors," reported Lieutenant Raj Patel, his dark eyes fixed on the holographic display before him. "It doesn't match any known signatures in our database." Sarah's heart raced with a mixture of excitement and apprehension. This deep into uncharted space, an unknown signature could only mean one thing: first contact with an alien civilization. She had dreamed of this moment since childhood, but now that it was upon her, she felt the weight of humanity's future resting on her shoulders. "Bring us to full stop, Lieutenant," she ordered, her voice steady despite the adrenaline coursing through her veins. "Initiate first contact protocols and ready all defensive systems. Let's hope whoever's out there is friendly." As the horizon slowed to a halt, a massive ship materialized before them, seeming to phase into existence from the very fabric of space itself. Its hull shimmered with an iridescent, almost organic quality, defying human understanding of metallurgy and engineering. "My God," whispered Dr. Elena Rodriguez, the ship's xenobiologist. "It's beautiful." Before anyone could respond, a beam of light engulfed the bridge, and a holographic figure appeared before them. The alien stood nearly 3 meters tall, its body a sinuous blend of tentacles and crystalline structures. Multiple eyes blinked in asynchronous patterns across what appeared to be its head. "Greetings, humans," the alien spoke, its voice resonating directly in their minds. "I am Ambassador Zix Leary of the Galactic Confederation. We have been observing your species for some time, and we believe you are ready to join us among the stars." Captain Chen stepped forward, her chin held high. "I am Captain Sarah Chen of the Human Space Service vessel Horizon. We come in peace and with open minds, eager to learn and share knowledge." The alien's eyes pulsed with what Sarah hoped was approval. "Your courage in venturing so far from your home is commendable, Captain. However, not all species in our confederation share our optimism about emerging civilizations. You will need to prove yourselves worthy of joining our ranks." Sarah's brow furrowed. "And how do you propose we do that, Ambassador?" "A trial," Zix Leary replied. "One that will test your species' ingenuity, resilience, and moral fiber. Are you prepared to undertake such a challenge on behalf of humanity?" The bridge crew exchanged glances, a mix of anticipation and concern evident on their faces. Sarah took a deep breath, knowing that her next words could shape the future of her entire species. "We accept your challenge, Ambassador. Humanity has faced countless trials throughout our history, and we have always emerged stronger. We're ready to prove our worth to the galaxy." Zix Leary's form shimmered, and Sarah sensed a hint of satisfaction in the alien's telepathic voice. "Very well, your trial begins now." Without warning, the alien ship vanished, leaving the horizon alone in the vastness of space. But before the crew could react, alarms blared throughout the ship. "Captain," Lieutenant Patel shouted, "we're detecting multiple wormholes opening around us. Unknown vessels are emerging. They're on an attack vector." Sarah's mind raced. This was their trial, thrown into combat against unknown adversaries, forced to prove humanity's worth through fire and steel. "Battle stations," she commanded, her voice ringing with authority. "Shields up, weapons hot. Let's show these aliens what humanity is made of." As the first salvo of energy weapons streaked towards the horizon, Sarah gripped the arms of her captain's chair. This wasn't just a fight for survival. It was a fight for humanity's place among the stars, and she'd be damned if she let her species fail at the first hurdle. The space around Horizon erupted into a dazzling display of weapons fire and explosions. The human ship danced through the chaos, its advanced propulsion systems allowing it to perform maneuvers that defied the laws of physics as understood by many of the attacking alien vessels. Evasive pattern Delta 3, Sarah ordered, her eyes fixed on the tactical display. Focus fire on the lead ship. Let's see if we can punch a hole in their formation. The Horizon's main cannon roared to life, a beam of concentrated plasma lancing out to strike the largest of the alien vessels. The enemy ship's shields flickered and failed, its hull buckling under the intense energy. Direct hit, Lieutenant Patel exclaimed. Enemy flagship is disabled. A cheer went up from the crew, but Sarah remained focused. Don't celebrate yet. We've still got a long way to go. As if to punctuate her words, a barrage of missiles streaked towards the horizon. The ship's point defense systems sprang into action, lasers picking off the incoming projectiles one by one. But there were too many. Brace for impact, Sarah shouted, gripping her chair as the ship shuddered under the assault. Damage reports flooded in from all decks, but the Horizon held together. Sarah allowed herself a small smile. The ship was living up to its reputation as the pinnacle of human engineering. Captain, Dr. Rodriguez called out, her voice tinged with excitement. I've been analyzing the enemy weapons. They're using a form of plasma containment that's incredibly inefficient. If we can disrupt it, we might be able to turn their own weapons against them. Sarah nodded. Do it. Lieutenant Patel, prepared to transmit Dr. Rodriguez's calculations to our weapon systems. As the battle raged on, the Horizon's weapons began targeting specific weak points in the enemy ship's designs. One by one, the alien vessels fell victim to their own unstable plasma weapons, exploding in brilliant flashes of light. Hours passed, and the tide of battle slowly turned. The remaining enemy ships, recognizing the futility of their attack, began to retreat. As the last of them disappeared into wormholes, a stunned silence fell over the Horizon's bridge. Then, as suddenly as it had vanished, the massive ship of Ambassador Zixleri reappeared before them. Impressive, the alien's voice echoed in their minds. You have not only survived but triumphed against a force that has defeated many other species. Your tactical acumen and technological adaptability are remarkable. Sarah stood tall, her uniform scorched and torn, but her spirit unbroken. We fought to defend ourselves and to prove our worth. But war is not our purpose. We seek peaceful cooperation and the exchange of knowledge. Zixleri's form shimmered, and Sarah sensed what could only be described as respect emanating from the alien. You have passed the first trial, humans, but your journey is far from over. The Galactic Confederation awaits, and with it, challenges and opportunities beyond your wildest imagination. As the alien's ship prepared to lead them deeper into the cosmos, Sarah turned to her crew. Their faces were tired, but filled with pride and determination. They had taken humanity's first steps into a larger universe, and they were ready for whatever came next. Well done, everyone, Sarah said, a fierce grin spreading across her face. Let's show the galaxy what humanity is truly capable of. With that, the HS Horizon fell into formation behind Zixleri's vessel, its engines pulsing with renewed energy. The stars stretched into streaks of light as they accelerated, carrying the hopes and dreams of Earth towards a future among the stars. As they journeyed deeper into the unknown, Sarah couldn't help but feel a sense of anticipation. This was just the beginning. Humanity had proven its worth in battle, but she knew that the true tests of their wisdom, compassion, and ability to coexist with beings beyond their comprehension still lay ahead. The universe, vast and mysterious, beckoned, and humanity, embodied by the brave crew of the Horizon, was ready to answer its call. Human ingenuity unleashed. The HSS Horizon emerged from the swirling vortex of a wormhole, its hull gleaming under the light of an alien sun. Captain Sarah Chen stood at the helm, her eyes wide with wonder as she took in the sight before her. The Galactic Confederation's capital world, Nexus Prime, hung in space like a jewel, its surface a tapestry of impossible colors and geometric patterns. It's breathtaking, Dr. Elena Rodriguez whispered, voicing the thoughts of everyone on the bridge. Ambassador Zixleri's holographic form materialized beside them. Welcome to Nexus Prime, humans. The heart of galactic civilization awaits you. As the horizon descended towards the planet's surface, Sarah couldn't shake the feeling that they were entering the lion's den. The battle they had won to prove their worth still felt like a dream, and now they were about to face an even greater challenge: diplomacy on a cosmic scale. The ship touched down on a crystalline landing pad that seemed to shift and reform beneath its weight. As Sarah led her crew down the gangway, they were met by a delegation of aliens so diverse it made her head spin. Beings of pure energy floated alongside creatures that seemed to defy the laws of physics. "Greetings, representatives of Earth," a melodious voice rang out. The speaker was a tall, elegant being with skin that shimmered like the surface of a soap bubble. "I am High Counselor Exora. We have much to discuss." Sarah stepped forward, her posture straight and confident despite the butterflies in her stomach. "We're honored to be here, High Counselor. We come seeking friendship and the exchange of knowledge." Sarah's iridescent eyes seemed to pierce right through Sarah. "Noble intentions, Captain, but intentions alone are not enough to earn a place among the stars. You must prove that your species can contribute to the greater good of the galaxy." Before Sarah could respond, alarms blared across the spaceport. Holographic screens flickered to life, showing a massive asteroid hurtling towards Nexus Prime. "By the cosmic core," Sarah exclaimed, "our planetary defense systems are malfunctioning. We can't stop it." Sarah's mind raced. This was their chance to prove humanity's worth beyond mere combat prowess. "High Counselor, with your permission, we'd like to help." Exora hesitated for a moment, then nodded. "Very well, humans. Show us what you can do." Sarah turned to her crew. "Dr. Rodriguez, analyze that asteroid. Lieutenant Petal, get me specs on their defense systems. We've got a planet to save." As the team worked feverishly, Sarah marveled at how quickly they adapted to the alien technology. Dr. Rodriguez's xenobiology expertise allowed her to interface with the biological computers of Nexus Prime, while Lieutenant Petal's engineering skills helped him understand the intricacies of the malfunctioning defense grid. "Captain," Rodriguez called out, her voice urgent, "the asteroid isn't natural. It's some kind of ancient weapon designed to adapt to any defense it encounters." Sarah's mind whirled with possibilities. If it adapts, we need to give it something it can't adapt to, something unpredictable. She turned to Petal. "Lieutenant, can we use the Horizon's quantum fluctuation drive to create a localized field of probability distortion?" Petal's eyes lit up with understanding. "Brilliant, Captain. If we can envelop the asteroid in a field of quantum uncertainty, its adaptive capabilities will be rendered useless." As the human crew sprang into action, the assembled aliens watched in amazement. The Horizon rose from the landing pad, its engines pulsing with otherworldly energy. It streaked towards the approaching asteroid, a ship that seemed tiny and fragile compared to the looming threat. "Now, Lieutenant," Sarah commanded as they neared the asteroid. The Horizon's quantum drive spun up to full power, enveloping the massive rock in a shimmering field of probability. The asteroid's surface began to shift and warp, unable to settle on a single form or composition. "It's working," Rodriguez exclaimed. "The weapon can't adapt if it can't define its own existence." With the asteroid neutralized, Sarah ordered a tractor beam to be engaged. Slowly, carefully, they began to drag the cosmic weapon away from Nexus Prime, towards the system's sun where it could be safely disposed of. As they returned to the spaceport, Sarah could see the awe and respect in the eyes of the assembled aliens. High Counselor Exora stepped forward, her iridescent skin pulsing with what Sarah hoped was approval. "Humans," Exora began, her voice filled with a newfound warmth, "you have shown us something truly remarkable today. Not only did you save our world, but you did so using a combination of technology and creativity that we have never seen before." Sarah felt a swell of pride for her crew and her species. "Thank you, High Counselor. We believe that the greatest challenges require innovative solutions. It's part of what defines us as humans." Haxira nodded sullenly. Indeed, your species has proven itself to be far more than simple warriors. You are problem solvers, innovators, and, dare I say, potential friends to all in the Confederation. As word of the humans' feat spread across Nexus Prime, delegates from various alien races approached the Horizon's crew. Some offered congratulations, others sought to learn more about human technology and thought processes. Dr. Rodriguez found herself deep in conversation with a group of alien scientists, explaining the principles of quantum mechanics and how humans had harnessed them for space travel. Lieutenant Potel was surrounded by engineers, sketching out designs and trading ideas for new types of propulsion systems. Sarah watched it all with a sense of wonder and hope. This was what they had dreamed of when they set out from Earth, not just exploration, but true connection with other intelligent life. As the day wore on, High Counselor Xyra approached Sarah once more. Captain Chen, the Galactic Council has made a decision. We would like to formally invite humanity to join the Confederation as probationary members. Sarah's heart soared, but she kept her composure. We're honored, High Counselor. What does probationary membership entail? Sarah's skin rippled with patterns that Sarah was beginning to recognize as a smile. It means, Captain, that you and your crew will serve as humanity's ambassadors. You'll be given access to Confederation technology and knowledge, and in return, you'll undertake missions on our behalf. It will be dangerous, challenging work, but I suspect that's exactly what you humans thrive on. Sarah grinned, thinking of the adventures that lay ahead. High Counselor, on behalf of humanity, we accept. As news of their new status spread among the crew, Sarah could feel the excitement building. They had come seeking a place among the stars, and they had found it. But she knew this was just the beginning. The galaxy was vast, filled with wonders and dangers beyond imagination. Humanity had taken its first steps into a larger universe. Now, it was up to Sarah and her crew to ensure that those steps led to a brighter future for all. As the twin suns of Nexus Prime began to set, casting the spaceport in an ethereal glow, Sarah gathered her crew for a briefing. Their faces were tired but exhilarated, still buzzing from the day's events. Well done, everyone, she began, her voice filled with pride. Today, we've not only saved a world, but we've opened up a universe of possibilities for humanity. Our real work begins now. We're going to be the face of humanity out here, and it's up to us to show the Confederation the very best of what our species has to offer. She looked at each of her crew members in turn, seeing in their eyes the same determination and wonder that she felt. Get some rest, she concluded with a smile. Tomorrow, we start exploring the galaxy in earnest. As the crew dispersed, Sarah took a moment to look up at the star-filled sky. Somewhere out there, Earth was waiting, unaware of the monumental changes that were about to reshape human civilization. She made a silent promise to her home world. They would make humanity proud. The adventure was just beginning, and the stars were calling their names. The Alien Council's dilemma. Months had passed since the HS Horizon's crew had saved Nexus Prime and earned humanity's place in the Galactic Confederation. Captain Sarah Chen stood before the imposing doors of the Grand Council chamber, her heart racing with anticipation. Today was no ordinary meeting. The fate of an entire civilization hung in the balance. As the doors swung open, Sarah was once again struck by the sheer diversity of the council. Beings of all shapes, sizes, and compositions filled the circular room, their attention now focused solely on her. High Counselor Xyra's voice rang out, "Captain Chen, please step forward and present your case." Sarah took a deep breath and began, "Esteemed members of the Council, I come before you today to advocate for the Zephyrians, a species on the brink of extinction due to their dying sun." Murmurs rippled through the chamber. The Zephyrians were a relatively primitive race, not yet capable of interstellar travel. Under normal circumstances, the Confederation's strict non-interference policy would prevent any intervention. "We have the technology to stabilize their star," Sarah continued, her voice steady and determined. To stand by and watch an entire species perish when we have the means to save them goes against everything we as humans believe in. A hulking, crystalline being that Sarah recognized as Counselor Crix of the Tholians spoke up, its voice resonating through the chamber. Your compassion is admirable, Captain Chen, but our laws exist for a reason. Interfering with the natural development of a species can have unforeseen consequences. Sarah nodded respectfully but pressed on. I understand the risks, Counselor, but I argue that there's nothing natural about this situation. The Zephyrian sun is dying prematurely due to an unusual stellar phenomenon. We wouldn't be altering their destiny, we'd be correcting a cosmic anomaly. The debate raged on for hours, with council members arguing passionately on both sides. Some saw the potential for expanding the Confederation's influence, while others feared setting a dangerous precedent. As the arguments reached a fever pitch, a soft but commanding voice cut through the chaos. It belonged to Elder Zin, the oldest and most respected member of the council. The ancient being, composed of pure energy, floated to the center of the chamber. For eons, we have debated the merits of intervention, Jin began, its voice carrying the weight of millennia. Perhaps it is time we looked at this dilemma through fresh eyes. Captain Chen, you and your crew have demonstrated remarkable ingenuity and compassion since joining our ranks. I propose we put this matter in human hands. A hush fell over the chamber. What Elder Jin was suggesting was unprecedented. High Counselor Axara, after a moment of stunned silence, spoke. Are you suggesting we allow the humans to decide the fate of the Zephyrians? Indeed, Jin replied. Let this be a test of their wisdom and their ability to handle the responsibilities that come with advanced technology. Captain Chen, are you prepared to take on this monumental task? Sarah felt the weight of countless alien eyes upon her. This wasn't just about saving the Zephyrians anymore. It was about proving humanity's readiness to be full members of the galactic community. We accept this responsibility, Sarah said, her voice unwavering. We will find a way to save the Zephyrians without compromising their natural development. As Sarah and her crew left the council chamber, the enormity of the task ahead began to sink in. They had won the right to intervene, but now they had to figure out how to stabilize a dying star without being detected by a pre-spaceflight civilization. Back aboard the Horizon, Sarah called an emergency meeting of her senior staff. All right, people, she began, pacing the conference room. We've got the green light, but now comes the hard part. We need ideas, and we need them fast. Dr. Rodriguez was the first to speak up. Captain, I've been studying the Zephyrians' culture. They're a deeply spiritual people who worship their sun as a deity. Any sudden changes to their star could cause massive societal upheaval. Lieutenant Patel chimed in, and let's not forget the technical challenges. We need to find a way to stabilize a star without leaving any trace of our involvement. It's not like we can just park the Horizon next to their sun and start making repairs. Sarah nodded, absorbing the information. So we need a solution that's both technologically invisible and culturally sensitive. Any ideas? For a moment, silence filled the room. Then Ensign Maya Lee, a young astrophysicist who had been quietly listening, spoke up. What if we don't fix their sun directly? What if we give them the means to fix it themselves? All eyes turned to Maya, who continued with growing excitement. The Zephyrians already have a rudimentary understanding of solar energy. What if we could introduce a slightly more advanced concept to them, disguised as a religious revelation, something that would lead them to develop the technology they need to stabilize their own star? Sarah's eyes lit up. Brilliant, Ensign Lee. We could use holographic technology to create a divine vision that introduces the concept. It would be seen as a gift from their sun god, rather than alien intervention. The crew sprang into action, each member contributing their expertise to the plan. Dr. Rodriguez worked on crafting a message that would resonate with Zephyrian culture. Lieutenant Patel and Ensign Lee collaborated on designing a series of technological advancements that would seem like natural progressions to the Zephyrians, but would ultimately lead them to develop star-stabilizing technology. Weeks of preparation followed, with the Horizon's crew working tirelessly to perfect their plan. They studied Zephyrian history, culture, and technology in minute detail, ensuring that every aspect of their intervention would blend seamlessly into the planet's natural development. Finally, the day of implementation arrived. The Horizon took up a position hidden behind Zephyr's moon, out of sight of the planet's primitive telescopes. Sarah stood on the bridge, watching the holographic projection of the planet's surface. "Initiate Operation Sunburst," she commanded. Across the planet, Zephyrian holy sites lit up with spectacular displays of light. Holographic visions appeared before stunned priests and civilians alike, bearing messages of hope and technological inspiration. To the Zephyrians, it appeared as though their sun god was bestowing upon them the knowledge to save themselves. Over the next several months, the Horizon's crew watched and waited, making minute adjustments to their plan as needed. They observed with pride as Zephyrian society began to rapidly advance, driven by a newfound purpose and the belief that they were fulfilling a divine mandate. As the Zephyrians' technology progressed, they began to develop the means to stabilize their dying sun. What they saw as miraculous inspiration was, in fact, the carefully guided influence of the Horizon's crew. Finally, after a year of anxious observation, Sarah received the news she had been waiting for. The Zephyrians had successfully launched their first solar stabilization mission. Their star's decay had been halted, and the species was saved. As the Horizon prepared to return to Nexus Prime, Sarah gathered her crew for a final address. "What we've accomplished here goes beyond saving a single species," she began, her voice filled with emotion. "We've shown the galaxy a new way of thinking about intervention and responsibility. We've proven that with creativity, compassion, and respect for other cultures, we can make a difference without imposing our will on others." The crew's cheers filled the bridge, a mixture of relief, pride, and excitement for what the future might hold. As the Horizon jumped to warp speed, leaving the Zephyrian system behind, Sarah couldn't help but feel that they had just written a new chapter in galactic history. Humanity had faced its first true test as members of the Galactic Confederation, and they had passed with flying colors. But as they hurtled through space towards Nexus Prime, Sarah knew that greater challenges lay ahead. The galaxy was vast and full of wonders and dangers they had yet to encounter. Humanity's journey among the stars was just beginning, and she couldn't wait to see what the universe had in store for them next. Battle for Earth's defense. The HS Horizon dropped out of warp on the outskirts of the Sol system, its crew tense with anticipation. Captain Sarah Chen stood at the helm, her eyes fixed on the holographic display of Earth, a blue marble suspended in the vast darkness of space. "Status report," she barked, her voice tight with concern. Lieutenant Peto's fingers danced over his console. "Long-range sensors are picking up multiple unidentified vessels approaching Earth, Captain. They're not responding to hails, and their energy signatures don't match anything in our database or the Confederation's." Sarah's jaw clenched. They had rushed back to Earth after receiving a distress call from the fledgling Earth Defense Force. An unknown alien fleet had appeared at the edge of the solar system, and humanity's home was woefully unprepared for a potential invasion. "Red alert. All hands to battle stations," Sarah commanded, "and open a channel to Earth Defense Command." The view screen flickered to life, revealing the worried face of Admiral Zhang, head of Earth's military forces. "Captain Chen, thank God you're here. These alien ships appeared out of nowhere, and they're not responding to any of our attempts at communication. We're completely outgunned." Sarah nodded grimly. "We're here to help, Admiral. The Galactic Confederation has authorized us to defend Earth by any means necessary. What's your current defensive capability?" "We've got a handful of orbital platforms and a small fleet of fighters, but nothing that can stand up to the firepower these aliens are packing," Zhang replied, his voice heavy with frustration. "Understood. We'll take point on this. Stand by for instructions." Sarah turned to her crew. "Dr. Rodriguez, any theories on who these aliens might be?" The xenobiologist shook her head. Nothing concrete, Captain, but based on their ship designs and energy signatures, I guess they're from outside the known galaxy. Possibly extragalactic invaders. Sarah's mind raced. They were facing an unknown enemy with technology potentially beyond even the Confederation's understanding. But they had one advantage: home turf. "All right, here's the plan," Sarah announced, her voice steady and determined. "We're going to use Earth's gravity well and the asteroid belt to our advantage. Lieutenant Patel, prepare to execute a series of micro-warp jumps. We're going to hit them hard and fast, then disappear before they can lock onto us." As the alien fleet drew closer, the horizon sprang into action. It blinked in and out of existence, appearing behind an enemy ship to deliver a devastating blow, then vanishing again before retaliatory fire could connect. The advanced Confederation weapons tore through the alien shields, leaving smoking hulks in their wake. But the invaders quickly adapted. Their ships began to anticipate the horizon's jumps, laying down fields of fire that forced the human vessel to break off its attacks. "They're learning our patterns," Patel shouted over the sound of a glancing hit rocking the ship. "We can't keep this up much longer." Sarah gritted her teeth. They needed a new strategy, and fast. Her eyes darted to the tactical display, taking in the positions of Earth's meager defenses and the encroaching alien armada. Suddenly, an idea struck her. "Earth Defense Command, this is Captain Chen. I need you to fire everything you've got at these coordinates." She quickly transmitted a set of seemingly empty coordinates in space. Admiral Zhang's voice crackled over the comm. "Captain, there's nothing there. We can't waste our limited firepower on empty space. Trust me, Admiral. Fire on my mark." Sarah turned to her crew. "Patel, prepare for a wide-spectrum EM pulse. Rodriguez, I need you to modulate our shield frequency to match the aliens' weapons." As her crew scrambled to obey, Sarah watched the alien fleet's formation. They were falling into a predictable pattern, likely preparing for a final push towards Earth. Just a few more seconds. "Now," Sarah shouted. Several things happened at once. Earth's defense platforms and fighters unleashed a barrage of missiles and energy weapons at the empty coordinates Sarah had specified. At the same moment, the horizon fired its EM pulse and altered its shields. The results were spectacular. The alien ships, reacting to the sudden attack, instinctively teleported to what they thought was a safe location, directly into the path of Earth's assault. Their shields, calibrated to defend against the horizon's weapons, were useless against the relatively primitive but numerous Earth weapons. Elder Zin, the ancient energy being, floated forward. "We must unite as never before. Every species, every world must contribute to our defense. But more than that, we need a way to stop these invaders at their source." Sarah's mind raced with possibilities. What if we could find a way to stabilize their home universe, give them a reason to stay where they are? The council chamber erupted in a flurry of discussions and debates. Some argued for an all-out military response, while others supported Sarah's more diplomatic approach. In the end, a compromise was reached. The Confederation would bolster its defenses and prepare for war, but it would also launch an ambitious scientific mission to find a solution to the Void Hunter's plight. The next few months were a whirlwind of activity. The Horizon, now upgraded with the latest Confederation technology, led a fleet of research vessels to the edge of the galaxy. Their mission: to find a way to pierce the veil between universes and make contact with the Void Hunters on their own turf. Dr. Rodriguez and her team worked tirelessly, combining human ingenuity with alien science to develop a trans-universal portal. Lieutenant Patel oversaw the integration of new weapon systems, preparing for the worst even as they hoped for the best. Finally, after weeks of failed attempts and near disasters, they succeeded. A shimmering portal opened before the horizon, offering a glimpse into a universe of dying stars and fading galaxies. Sarah stood on the bridge, staring into the abyss beyond. "Take us through, Helm," steady as she goes. The horizon glided forward, crossing the threshold between realities. As they emerged on the other side, the crew gasped at the sight before them. A vast armada of Void Hunter ships hung suspended in space, surrounded by the ghostly remnants of long-dead stars. "We're being hailed," Patel reported, his voice tense. Sarah straightened her uniform. On screen, the viewscreen flickered to life, revealing a being of shadow and starlight. Its voice seemed to echo from the depths of space itself. "You dare to enter our domain? Your universe will fall as ours has fallen." Sarah stepped forward, her voice steady. "We come seeking peace. We know of your plight, and we want to help." The Void Hunter's form rippled with surprise. "Help? You would aid those who sought to destroy you." "We believe there's a better way," Sarah replied. "Our scientists have developed a method to reinvigorate dying stars. We can help you restore your universe, give you back your home." For a long moment, silence reigned. Then, slowly, the Void Hunter's form softened. "You speak of impossible things, and yet you are here, in our realm. Perhaps there is hope after all." What followed was a diplomatic dance unlike any in galactic history. The Horizon's crew worked alongside the Void Hunters, sharing knowledge and technology. Dr. Rodriguez's theories on stellar rejuvenation were put to the test on a cosmic scale. Weeks turned to months as the project unfolded. Slowly but surely, stars began to reignite across the Void Hunters' universe. Planets that had long been cold and lifeless stirred with the first sparks of rebirth. As the final star in the rejuvenation process rolled back to life, Sarah stood on the Horizon's observation deck with the Void Hunter leader, now known to them as Nexa. "You have given us back our future," Nexa said, its voice filled with an emotion Sarah could only describe as awe. "We owe you a debt that can never be repaid." Sarah smiled, watching the newborn star's light wash over them. "There's no debt between friends, but there is an opportunity. Our universes have made contact now. Think of what we could learn from each other, how we could grow together." Nexa's form shimmered in what Sarah had come to recognize as agreement. "Yes, perhaps this is the beginning of something greater than either of our kinds could have imagined." As the Horizon prepared to return to its own universe, Sarah couldn't help but feel a sense of profound accomplishment. They had faced an enemy that threatened not just Earth, but all of reality, and they had turned that enemy into an ally through understanding and compassion.